Okay, so in this program we're going to use nested ifs, nested 4 levels deep to make some complex decisions here. So let's say we're creating a program that'll help somebody decide what to have for lunch. And this is a menu-driven program, so these are just see-out statements to create a menu like this with line breaks. So we give the user a choice between healthy food and junk food. I'll go with the healthy food. That's choice 1. And what are you craving? Something sweet or something savory? I'll go with something savory. And we're in the healthy option, so I'm giving the user a choice, vegan or paleo. These options would not be available if I had chosen the junk option. So I'll go with the vegan. And now finally, these are the choices for the vegan savory options, and I'll go with the sushi. Okay, so finally, the lunch is displayed. So I could have gone down any path in that program depending on how I felt. And, you know, I said this before, your brain makes these decisions so naturally, you don't even have to think about it. But when you're programming, you have to kind of spell everything out. So this is actually kind of a complex program in that we have lots and lots of decisions going on. So what I did is there are ultimately, you know, just categories of decisions. Like first, they're confronted with the healthy or junk option, and then the sweet or savory option. And then, you know, if it's healthy, it's vegan or paleo. I didn't go down the junk path, but if it's a junk food option, they get a choice between a store like 7-Eleven or a restaurant if they're going to go sit down and order something. So, and then ultimately the final decision is what the user chooses for the lunch. So I just created all these variables up at the top. They're just integers. I've initialized those to zeros. I didn't have to initialize them. And then also a string to record the lunch when they finally make that decision. So this is the first menu here where they're asked to choose between healthy or junk. And we absorb that with CN. One thing I'm doing in this, you might have noticed, is I'm clearing the screen between menus, between options. You can do that with System CLS. For those of you who might be using Xcode on the Mac, that will not work for you. So you just have to not clear the screen. Maybe there's another way to figure it out in Xcode, but I don't know, but you can look into that. And so then after they choose healthy or junk, we're asked what if they want sweet or savory. So now we have those two options, and now I'm getting into the nested ifs, and these are, again, nested 4 levels deep. So if healthy or junk equals 1, this is the healthy category. So from there, I'm going to clear the screen and give them the vegan or paleo options, absorb the user's input, and then we're nesting another level deep. If it's vegan, if vegan or paleo is choice 1 for vegan, and they wanted something sweet, then they get the smoothie and the granola, these sweet options. Okay, and then they get the final decision from these sweet options if they've chosen, if they've gone down this path. And then finally, I am capturing the actual lunch. If the final decision is 1, they wanted the smoothie. If it was 2, they wanted the granola. Okay. This is if they wanted savory. You get the idea here, and they get a different set of options. Still in the vegan category, by the way, in the healthy category. So we're just keep kind of drilling down, getting more and more specific and zeroing in on what the user wants to eat. So, you know, this is really, and this is only 4 levels deep. And you can see how complex it's getting. Can you imagine a program that's like calculates people's taxes with all the different possibilities and variables and tax brackets and married versus single? I mean, we're talking really, really complicated logic. But in any case, I'll zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see the nesting going on. This is like the outermost if, the healthy or junk. From there, I'm in the vegan or paleo. This is the healthy part of it. And then from drilling down into sweet and savory, and then finally drilling down into the final decision. Okay? This is savory, still in the healthy. And then you can see how long this is. Now we're in the junk. If I had chosen junk, then it's a different set of choices, store or restaurant. And then they get these other choices. So you can play with this. I mean, the thing is with this is keeping track of your curly braces, just being very careful and kind of working from the outside in. Lay down that first big outer if, get all the curly braces in place, and then start working your way inward, and getting more and more specific with the choices. But one thing you'll see, if you have a lot of curly braces and they start piling up in a program like this, it helps to comment them so you can keep track of them. What you don't want is to accidentally delete one or wipe one out. It's just going to throw off your entire file, and you're going to have compiler errors that are very, very difficult to troubleshoot. So always add your curly braces in pairs, and just keep track of them, and just be very, very careful when you're navigating a program like this.